Welcome back. I'm here at BarberTime at HQ. BarberTime Buzz is the show. And we're here with my peoples again. This is Zane Skerry. Well, man, everything is real. And so this next topic we're going to get into, and I'm going to start with it from a personal perspective, because I'm a bad example of wanting to be a barber and then pursuing the barber career from the points where you guys were just speaking of. Like, I got into it at a young age, and I just had the talent, so I did it. Everybody came to me, so it was kind of one of those talent guys that didn't put the effort in until I decided to put the effort in. Then I went to school, but I wasn't the best student. And like you said, Al, my man, Al down at Mass Barber, and he had to deal with me, and he had to deal with me as bluntly as possible, and I actually learned from that. So what you're saying about him is 100% true of who he is, and I do thank you, Al. I went back to the school probably like 5 years later, and I said, Al, sorry, and I thank you for everything he did. But it then leads into, as I'm building the media network we have here, is there's many other barbers that are out there that are like that don't take school as seriously, don't take the profession as seriously. I had to learn that as I went, and as I learned under another barber, in which I did. But from a media perspective, what is it that we can do to help push those agendas that you guys are speaking about?
Well, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you think that a barber mentor is pertinent in the life of a young barber?
From what I've learned, absolutely.
And why?
Just experience, first and foremost. The experience brings you to a point where you can then, for one, teach others, but you can accept and understand younger folk, not even younger, because it really doesn't have to be somebody that's younger. It is the experience, because a lot of older folks, 30s, 40s, get into barbering late, and they can learn something from somebody that's 36 that's been in the industry for about 16, 15 years.
I had a student that was 62.
Yes, and my point exactly. So
always wanted to be a barber.
Yeah, to me, and which is why I've always listened to my elders, except when I was younger, you pick and choose, but I've always had the respect for them. So for me, it's always been the experience, and mentorship is important regardless of what you do, to me.
So what I hear is this: there's two type of characters. One that gets into barbering because they love barbering, and one they get into barbering because they're looking for a job or something to do or trying to find themselves.
No, that's a couple of different ones.
And I find, now I'm still relatively young, but in 20 years I taught and trained 6 people that opened up their own barbershop, 4 are still standing to this day. And I have my son and my nephew and a young lady that I'm mentoring in barber school. What I find, the best students are the ones that love it, because this is about art. A haircut is a moving, walking, talking business card. And I like to make everybody leave out my chair feeling like Michael Jackson in a Billie Jean video. You know what I'm saying? But so that character, me as the master barber has to assess the character I'm dealing with. Are they mechanically inclined? Are they artistically inclined? Do they have a work ethic? No work ethic. BSing, serious business. And then I can assess the best way to bring them up to the level of becoming a professional licensed barber. So taking that information there, how can, from what you see, because I heard you earlier, you said you love music and you pay attention to what's going on social media and everything. How do you think you can translate what you're saying, what you think is needed, into media specifically? Media training is a high science. That's different. The basis is learning how to do authentic hair cutting.
No,
I'm going to answer your question, but I'm just giving you a premise.
Okay.
The basic of being a barber is learning authentic hair cutting without the accoutrements, the enhancements, and all the BS. Authentic hair cutting.
Absolutely.
Transferring positive energy, making that person feel good because they look good. Then, once you have an understanding of that, then you got to learn communication skills, how to bring the best out of people, how to be a network within your community and the world at broad. And then one of the sciences you're going to learn after that, I'm telling you from a master barber, my perspective, which is way younger than my dad. But once you learn these things, you build up to get to media training. Because everybody's not good at media training, sharing, public speaking, and so forth.
Oh, we're not, okay, the question isn't about training. It's more about there's a media platform meant to be disseminated in the side shops and salons. How do we teach the youth through this media platform what it is that you're talking? What do you want to see?
I might have misunderstood that.
Yeah, what do you want to see in the media to help get those points across?
But let me say this to that point. I might have misunderstood the angle.
Okay.
I don't think you can learn being a barber from any. This is time you finish the thought.
Okay.
You have to learn it mouth to ear.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to have a mentor to walk you through it until he can build you up. Then, through using the media, you can find people with like agendas or philosophies.
Yes.
See, if I tell you that I know half the barbers don't have dental or health care, the people that really deal with that is going to be attracted to that. The people that don't care about that is not going to speak to them.
Right
so I would use the media to speak to the people that have like agendas like I do to uplift the culture.
Yeah, and so
that's how I would use it.
To the point I just want to say is that's exactly kind of what we were thinking, and is looking for the figureheads, which is a later question, the figureheads that are in the industry that are relative and also mentors to be on the platform pushing out some of those agendas. And so I hope you end up being one of them. Zane,
Yeah.
to you.
Okay. My thoughts are what you can do with media time.
Yes.
And I think that's, you can correct me if I'm got the wrong slant. But basically what I think is you need to have people doing some of these classes, not instead of it's a barber school. This is like, it should be put forth something like, while you're in barber school, we hope you will take advantage of what we're giving you, because it basically will be free media that we're talking about. Yeah, we can take advantage of what we're offering you, and that is, let's start from the very beginning. Let's start from the sanitation, and you can give little classes like that. That's not going to get anybody to, I don't know about haircuts so much, because haircuts is something that you could do as a once in a while thing. But what you want to do is to teach, and he touched on it when he said you have to teach them communication skills and all of that too. But you do have to have, it would be nice to have something where myself or Nelson or somebody, not doing any of this for money, for somebody just doing it to give back.
To love it again.
You know, so I'm not, when I talk about it, I don't think about it as doing anything for money. I think about what have I learned in all these years that I realize I wish I knew from the very beginning. And that would be, you know, how to comport myself in certain situations, how to fend off an angry customer. How do you charm them back into things? I mean, things like that. You know, just different things. How to keep your temper in check. You know, things. I like this. He's taking notes about me down. So that means I probably need to get that book started.
Zane, we've been taking notes about you for the longest.
Absolutely. You definitely need that. Yeah. Absolutely.
But and also too, how to elevate. When you say, somebody will say something like this, and this just ran through my mind, so it must be meant to be said. Oh, I'm only a barber. You are never only a barber. You're a barber.
You're a barber.
You're a barber. And, you know, capital B, capital A, capital R, capital B, capital E, capital R. Barber. And you're proud of it. And like, they would say, oh, you mean you're a hairdresser? I said, no, I'm a barber. And I worked hard to get through that. The shaving with the straight razor scared me to death, because I never put a razor on my face. I put it on my legs, but that's a little different. Cut myself there, you know, so. But just different things that they should know, instead of just grabbing a straight razor and using it without any knowledge, or, and there's different things you can apply to schools, and how to bring I'm not trying to be crude, but how to bring a smart-ass student to swing his thinking around. Yeah, somebody like you have said yourself was. And I taught for 2 full years, and I had my share. But I brag about this because I didn't have a lot of students at that time. It was a school in Holyoke, and it was trying to start up and trying to get worked through. And
is that Brahms?
Brahms, yeah, that was back in the day. And but anyhow, I had more time. I didn't have any help with me, though. I mean, I would be teaching the class, and I would be teaching the hair cutting class and the theory class, and running around like a nutcase. But I found I got such a reward from it, in which I'm sure he knows the same thing, because he wouldn't be sitting here Everybody's got other things to do, or can find certainly other things to do. Lay on the beach somewhere if you got if you got a minute, you know. But especially down here when you got beaches not too far away, Revere and all of that.
These are great beaches, but yes.
Yeah, but you don't get a chance to get to them too often.
No, I understand.
So if you come out of your way to do something, why are you doing it? You're not doing it for money. You're not doing it for recognition, because if you're being interviewed, somebody already recognizes you. So how much do you need? You know, how much recognition do you need? But it's nice to have it. It's nice to be appreciated. And but that isn't the whole of it either. The part that I feel the most for is I seem to have an effect on them, the barbers. And when I go to the Jay's, things like that, usually he says something to me from the stage, or he's had me, he gave me a plaque one time, you know, which was very nice, you know.
We love you, Zane.
Well, I love you, Barbers. I know I do, or I mean, there is no other reason for me being there, because people say, Barber, 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 you know. I say, but it's a profession. It's the oldest, because, as I said, the year I was president of the National Board, everybody says it's not the oldest profession. And I said, haven't you ever had a barber say, hey, have I got a girl for you? And yes.
That goes into to what he said earlier. This brilliant segue into it.
That was real swift.
Is so true. I made a post earlier today. Barbers or stylists, you can do anything from behind your chair. All you really have to do is resource your patrons, which is basically what you said earlier, because you're going to know a little bit of anything and everybody, and that information is which is what BarberTime is about, is disseminating all of that stuff. The barbering is one of the greatest professions in the world, and it's anyone that tries to look down at it, we can pull so many things out of our pocket that can stop that ignorant thought that they have at any moment. And you guys really encapsulated that wonderfully. Again, this is the BarberTime Buzz. We're going to be right back, and when we come back, we're going to discuss who our favorite industry leaders are today.
Okay.